with local folks, etc., with the goal being to provide a predictable means of project review when it comes to whether or not you're dealing with a river. So there is no DEP mouth of river map corresponding to the tidal creek in our salt marsh. Our salt marsh, as you can see, is a long finger-like extension that extends south from Uncle Robert's Cove and Lewis Bay. There are 4, I think, coastal river mouths that were mapped in the area to the north. So it would seem like this area was focused on when it came to identifying the community coastal rivers. So before even leaving the office, it would seem that the tidal creek does not fit the definition of river when they put the coastal river wetland maps together. A river being defined as a body of flowing water that empties into another body of water with primarily riverine characteristics. So out in the field with my rubber boots on, walking around the whole perimeter of the salt marsh. It's a big pocket of isolated salt marsh that's surrounded by the upland of Great Island to the west and the barrier beach associated with the sound to the east. There are no inlets or streams that flow into the salt marsh from the uplands, and the rack line and the salt marsh vegetation end abruptly at the upland due to the topography. And so with respect to that tidal creek that flows into the marsh, if you refer to the Massachusetts Guide to the Coastal Wetland Regulations, it says that a drainage ditch and a tidal creek are considered to be parts of a salt marsh by definition if they substantially drain at mean low water, which this tidal creek does, and if they are within or substantially surrounded by salt marsh, which this creek is. So our field observations supported our office research in classifying the tidal creek as a functioning part of the salt marsh and not a river. So back to our ANRAD, the salt marsh comes right up to the bottom of the coastal bank. It was located in the field and it's shown on our plan. The survey was done on NAVD 88 datum so that we could delineate the limit of land subject to coastal storm flowage, which is also shown on the plan. And combining the topographic information and the location of the floodplain in conjunction with DE policy 92-1, that let us delineate the top of the coastal bank using the profiles in accordance with the DEP policy. And we also stake the top of the coastal bank in the field so that when people are out there looking at the property, they know where it is on the property, not just looking at the map or the plan, I should say. So that's it. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Laura. Questions for the commission?
Pretty thorough.
Okay, Kelly, any comments?
No, I don't have any comments. It was a very thorough delineation. Good supporting information.
Okay, yeah, it was very good. Anybody in the audience who has any comments, concerns, questions? All right, if not, let me go back to the commission. If there's no further discussion, do I have a motion to accept the resource area delineation as mapped?
So moved.
Thank you, Rick. Is there a second?
Second, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Kelly, would you call the roll?
Bishop,
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Bernstein,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Hoops,
Aye.
Huggins,
Aye.
Mulhern.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. Good night.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Right, next order of business is a notice of intent for Michael J. Lindsay, Senior Trustee, the Grove Street Realty Trust, 8 Grove Street, Yarmouth, Massachusetts, to raise and replacement of a single-family dwelling with associated deck and pervious driveway, as well as the construction of an in-ground pool with a surrounding patio.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. For the record, my name is Kieran Healy. I'm a land surveyor with the PSC Group. Presenting tonight on behalf of Mr. Lindsay. Mr. Lindsay is also, I believe, remotely tuning in, and also Matt Creighton from BSC Group. We have a proposal in front of you that is unusual in that there are quite a lot of resources and a lot of delineation and quite amount of things going on. But ultimately, it is a raise and replace of a single-family home with a proposed single-family home. As you can see on the left-hand side, where we have our buffer disturbances, the proposed mitigation that we have along the shoreline and in different parts of the lot, we're actually disturbing less of the buffer for most part than what is already disturbed. We're reducing the salt marsh buffer and the coastal dune buffer basically by the 840 square feet of plantings that we are proposing. There is a coastal bank out there right now that is broken up by the existing dwelling and by the existing garage. We will be removing the garage completely, and we will be planting in that particular area. There is also a flood zone. There's a velocity zone that goes through the property, and an A zone that goes through the property, and an X zone that goes through the property. The house itself will be between the A and the X flood zones. So we will be designing that with flood vents and to conform to the flood zone regulations. The parking area on the east side of the house will be reduced. You can see the light gray right now. We're pulling back a little bit from the house to where the darker gray is. The existing curb cut onto Grove Street is existing in that area. We're also proposing a driveway on the southerly side, on the southwesterly side of the building to come around and come in, and you can see where we've got a couple of shallow dry wells in that area. That is all below the coastal bank, and we're also proposing a pool and a patio area in that area below the coastal bank. The house itself, we're reducing the overall scale just a little bit in that area. There is an existing wraparound porch that goes around the existing building. On the easterly side, we'll be encompassing that into the house. On the southerly side, adjacent to Grove Street, we will be removing the wraparound deck portion and just putting in a simple landing with stairs to access the building in that area. And then we will have a deck on the westerly side. Other than that, I think that pretty much completes the presentation at this time. I would be glad to answer any questions the commission or Kelly may have.
Okay, thank you, Karen. That's a lot of work going on there. All right, commissioners, questions?
Is this going to be put up on pilings? I'm not sure I saw that anywhere. Or is it a slab?
There'll be a slab at the lower level, and then there will be concrete walls on the sides, but it will have breakout panels for flood zone compliance.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, anybody else? Kelly, any comments?
Just a couple of questions with regard to the pool and patio area. Obviously, there's some concern with them being in the higher wave energy environment in the 100-year storm. So the velocity zone just crosses the corner of that area, and it's also in the coastal A zone. which has the wave height of 1.5 up to 3 feet height. So the pool and the patio is all going to be at the current grade, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so there shouldn't really be any alteration in the flow of water, of storm flow across that part of the property.
I do not expect so. The current current elevation is what we're using down there.
What about a pool fence? Are they going to be having a pool fence around the patio area?
They were not proposing a fence because I guess under the new building code, if you have an automatic cover that goes over the pool, a fence is not required. I'm not fully understanding of the building code on that, but that's what was informed. That's how I was informed from the architect, that there is a new specific cover that allows you to not require a fence by using this particular automatic cover, was how it was described to me.
That is true.
Okay, yeah, I see a lot of after the fact pool fences for projects that we approve. So if that changes, I think it would be useful for us to have some idea, like that a fence would be around the immediate pool and patio area if it was to be installed, and that it be something that allows for flow through of water, so not like a solid fence. But I mean, I don't know if you want to include that or just go with there is going to be a pool cover, and then I would just have to review it after the fact if that changed. It comes up quite frequently with pool projects. So in addition to that, what is the intention with the materials during a large storm? Like, is the patio designed to break up and the pool to break up, or is it to stay as it is? Because I did read sort of, some information on the FEMA guidelines with regard to patios, and there was some indication that you build them with materials that break apart during a storm.
It depends on how it's constructed. Our intent was that it would not break apart during a storm because it would be potentially, hazardous to have that stuff blowing around.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we kept everything down at grade was that the water would just run right over the top of everything, and it wouldn't actually create gullies in front or behind to cause that potential uplift of the patio.
Okay. So I guess I would perceive there to be some effect, a change in the way water is flowing onto the property during a storm, because at the moment it's lawn and it's going to be hardscape. So there will be some difference, but I don't see it as being any, a significant change that would negatively impact the bank or the structure. I don't know if anyone else has any thoughts on that. It's a little bit counterintuitive putting hardscape in front of a coastal bank, but these do come up occasionally.
Well, can the patio be smaller on the north side? Shorten it up, sort of like to the corner of the building, and square it off there.
I mean, we could rotate the pool a little bit so it's out of the velocity zone, if that would be, and reduce the size of the patio a little bit by just twisting everything in, should we say, or rotating it in a little bit towards the building to get the pool out of the velocity zone.
And I think once you're kind of in that area, you're in that area. I'm not sure it's going to, a few feet is going to make much difference in terms of that wave energy. It might be more impactful to actually add a buffer of, a strip of plantings around it, just to break up wave energy a little more before it hits that area. I don't know whether that's something that would be more useful.
Well, we do have that planting area on top of the wall that is not there today.
Yeah, that's true.
Not to say it's going to do much good if we get a tidal surge over the top, but we are helping a little bit by adding that in there. And I spoke to one of the neighbors today, and they had a concern as well, and they talked about possibly adding some plantings pretty much due north of the pool, just to block out their views of the pool. And I spoke to my client, and he doesn't have a problem with adding some plants on the north side as well. Probably somewhere in the region where it says concrete manhole cover, some plantings in that area to stop any washing around, could we say?
Yeah, I mean, that would bring benefits in terms of protecting the coastal bank as well.
I do know that we do not have the SC number right now, so I know we cannot close. So, but you know, I gladly add those on for the next meeting. And but if we've, you know, if there are anything else to discuss, you know, that I need to modify, then that was a good time to do it.
Yeah, I don't think moving the pool is going to do much. You're right there. So I think if you're willing to put the additional plantings into the north, that would, you know, that would certainly add a little bit to the reduction of force. Maybe. I mean, if you get a really big storm, obviously, it's all going to probably go anyhow. So. But yeah, I think if you can make that change, that would be beneficial. Is there anything else from Rick?
Would the owner consider replacing the surround with a wooden deck properly anchored into deep sonotubes as a solution to this? I mean, I'm not sure if that makes sense, but it seems to me that the current building codes are very specific about loads and things for decks and the materials to anchor them to the ground. It may be a solution. What do you think, Kieran?
I can definitely check with the architect who designed this between now and the next meeting. And if he says that, you know, that's definitely a possibility, you know, I don't think my client has, you know, as long as he's got someplace to sit around the pool, he doesn't mind whether it's a paver or a patio or a wood deck. So that's, you know, that's definitely a possibility, and I will check into it and find out if it can be done for the next meeting.
Great, thank you.
This is Matt Creighton. Just to touch on some of this stuff, Kelly, too, and everyone, just might make you feel a little bit easier about what we're talking about. This lot is not really facing the mouth of Lewis Bay, if you will. It's kind of facing the opposite direction. So really, like a big storm and storm surge and wave energy is actually probably going to hit, you know, the other side of Grove Street, so to speak, coming in on that side. This area would probably fill in more, you know, because in reality, the direction of wave energy. Also, we've got that wall along the lawn there that's going to break that energy up pretty well. So we're more than likely not going to have major waves, you know, crashing on this. And I believe it is a pervious patio and pervious driveway being proposed that will kind of infiltrate water, if you will, as it washes up into this area. It's a little bit more protected, I guess, is what I'm saying, getting at.
Okay, I mean, I think I'm satisfied with the additional plantings, and if you want to look into that other that Rick suggested, I don't see that would be a bad thing. But if it can be done, that would be great. If not, I don't think it's going to make a difference one way or the other, to be honest with you.
I'd be glad to ask the question of the architect and at least get the answers.
Yeah, that would be. I'd appreciate that, Kieran. Any other questions from the board?
Yeah, if I can, I know rotating the pool won't make a really big difference, but it made, shortening up the patio area itself if they cock it, so the patio area isn't as big.
The patio area, if you could bring up the site plan again, please, Kelly. If you look where the pool is located and to go to the northeast corner of the pool, it's only 12 feet to the corner of the deck. So even though it looks quite large, it's not by any means a huge patio. We can definitely rotate it in and make it a bit smaller, but you know, the yellow lines there basically just an edging around the pool on the west and on the south side. And the only place to sit out is on the east side of the pool. So that's the area that would be reduced by rotating it.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Kelly, you're all set?
I am all set, yes. I do see a hand raised in the audience when you're ready.
Okay, let's go to audience then and see,
Hi,
Anik.
Anik. Yes, you can hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, my
If you
name,
would just, yes, state your name for the record, please.
yes, I am. My name is Anik Cooper. I'm here with my husband, Doug Peabody. We own two properties that abut. They're actually on the other side of the creek there, but that abut on the west side, 8 Grove Street. We received notice of this last week on Tuesday, and I went down immediately and spoke with Kelly, who very nicely printed out the plan for me, which after I looked at it, I had a lot of questions and went back, but with COVID hours, things were closed and then closed for the rest of the week. So we were very busy earlier in the week and only got to speak to Kieran Healy today. My husband and I have a lot of concerns as full-time residents who've lived in our home for a long, long time. I'm very familiar with this property, 8 Grove Street, since I knew the prior residents for about 50 years or so. One thing before I continue, Mr. Crichton mentioned that he thought this was a more, or not secluded, but protected lot, if you will, area, which, you know, having lived through several hurricanes and having seen what happened, that's not at all the case. I have seen actually enormous boats that have landed on the beach at the end of our street and the beach right at the in front of Grove Street. So I don't think that that is actually accurate. I also have questions among others, and after I speak, I'll let my husband speak. It seems that the plan relies very heavily on the mitigation that will be done, but I know from experience living here and seeing it 12 months out of the year that some of these plantings will not survive at all. They simply won't take. And those are the ones that are closest to, that are on top of the wall. So I don't put much faith in those as mitigation that will work. I am also concerned, obviously from where I stand, what I see with the flags that are in the ground now is really so extreme. It seems from where I stand in my own home or homes that half of the lawn will be taken up by patio, pool, and a currently non-existing driveway. So I have concerns about that. I don't, to be honest, particularly want to look at, you know, a lot of people. I mean, views are extremely important on the Cape, and it's not just views, it's nature. We happen to be blessed by living next to a creek where there is a lot of wildlife, a lot of nature. The creek, sometimes it's very skinny as it is on this plan. Other times it's like a big pond, and it comes up right next to the retaining wall on the, I guess it would be west side of this property. It's what I call organic TV. There's a lot going on. And though I am totally understanding of and all for improving one's property and lot, I think that this plan could be, in my opinion, improved, worked on and improved so that it is not so invasive to space, you know, the lawn, which is facing the bay and facing the creek, and still give the Lindsays what they like. But right now, to me, it's kind of appalling. I'll let my husband speak now.
You know, this is Doug Peabody. You know, when you look at it from our side of the creek, it takes up about 50% of the lawn there, the whole construct. And so my concern is that they might be able to accomplish what they want, but, you know, in a less invasive sort of way. And I think this idea that one of your board members had to rotate the pool is helpful. I think plantings on the north and the west side, or the northwest side, would be potentially helpful as well.
Better than that.
So I think, you know, I don't know what the rules are with respect to elevation, but, you know, my first reaction to it was that elevation might help if you could, you know, decrease the size of the driveway by so doing it. And raising up the foundation, since you're going to raise and replace the house in any event, raise up the foundation so that the entry to the driveway on the south side could be closer to the house, and that the pool could be rotated also to be closer to the house. It would be a lot less invasive that way. I think the whole plan in the backyard there is certainly at risk in any kind of a storm. Sometimes we get 70, 80 mile an hour winds down here in the wintertime, where that whole creek bed fills up and spills over onto the lawn. In fact, there's a lot there that is next to it that belongs to the Leahys, that, you know, the level of the creek goes up routinely to the base of a flagpole in the middle of that yard. So you do get a lot of water, even in non-stormy times. If you ever get a 3-foot storm surge, it's gonna wipe out that whole area. So those are my concerns generally. I think a lot can be done with less. That's, I guess, my bottom line on it.
And
Okay.
I believe, this is Anik again, that, you know, there, as I said, we're not against improving of anyone's property, but we would have appreciated, as my husband requested of the Lenzys, to, you know, let us know what you plan on doing. And there was no discussion, but discussions, I believe, would benefit everyone. And unfortunately, the timing of this was such that, you know, the notice came the day before the conservation office was closed, and before a holiday where everyone's busy, and it has not given us time as abutters to really completely digest it and have those conversations. And we would appreciate being able to do that.
Also want to see the elevations.
Yes, and plus we haven't seen the elevations of the house at all, which, you know, is of
All right,
interest.
so number one, let me tell you, I mean, we don't deal, generally, we don't speak about elevations and conservation. That's not typically under the purview. I mean, unless there's something specific that we need to look at, we don't deal with elevations that way. And you know, we don't have any aesthetic component. There is no aesthetic component under the Wetlands Protection Act. It's purely for the wetland resource area.
We were
As far
concerned
as-
with elevations because when we saw the plan, you know, first of all, when you first see it and without someone explaining things, it's a little bit confusing. At least was to me. I don't do this every day. And the line, which is, I don't know if you can see on there, black, white, black, white, black, white. It seemed, from what we could tell, because as I said, we know the property very well. I've been over there, lived half my youth there for 50 years, or 30 of the 50 years, that it was a continuation of an existing, very funky design of a what do you call it? A retaining wall. And only today we found out, and so we assumed that the entire patio and driveway area would be raised, because certainly from the street, unless you go very far down, closer and closer and closer to the beach and the water, the road or the property is so high that you would have to raise it. So that's why I said we thought for days, erroneously it turns out, that that whole area would be lifted with an extended retaining wall. So that's why I say it. So, you know, I understand that that's not your purview, but for us, there was no way I could see a plan down there because of the actual house. And there was nothing there that made me think, I just, you know, exactly what is going on here. And that was in part because it's a confusing to the untrained eye plan. And also because, you know, 5 days were lost of not really, you know, being able to I mean, there was time earlier this week, but quite frankly, my husband and I were extremely busy. So it was only today that we realized, oh, so it's not going up, which, you know, in a certain way, I think would be better, but for them too, but it's not.
As you say, there is a lot
Okay.
going on there.
There's a lot going on there, and there hasn't been a lot of time to actually, you know, we would love to be able to support this, but as of right now, you know, if we have to say, do we or do we not? No, not until we have a little more information and a little more back and forth with the Lenzys.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Is there anybody else in the audience who has any other comments, concerns, questions? I see none. Commissioners, any last comments, questions, concerns?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
Rick?
you might give the abutter some comfort in knowing that we're not going to make a decision on this tonight because there's no file number. So that in effect, she has 2 more weeks to review the plans, or he.
Okay, I mean, I was hoping we were going to be able to actually go ahead and at least that's fine. We can continue. I was hoping not to take any further testimony at the in 2 weeks, but
Sorry if I overstep my boundaries.
that's okay. All right, so if does anybody else have any other comments, questions, concerns?
I could,
Right.
if I could, Mr. Chairman, just to add something to it for everybody to know, is one that I will rotate the pool so it is a little closer to the house. I will add mitigation on the north side between the Coopers, between the Neek's house and the pool location. And I will get a plan into you guys as soon as I can to show that.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Karen. Hopefully, we'll be able to get, as soon as we get that, we'll be able to share that with the abutters as well.
Yeah, I have Anik's contact info, so I can do that.
Okay, all right. Unless there's any further discussion, then can I have a motion to continue this to December 17th? We were waiting for the DEP file number, and we will look at a revised, we'll also see the revised plan before that time as well.
So moved, David.
Thank you, David. Is there a second?
Second, Tom.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Kelly, would you call the roll?
Bishop,
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Bernstein,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Hoops,
Aye.
Huggins,
Aye.
Mulhern.
Aye.
Motion to continue passes unanimously.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Karen. Next order of business is another notice of intent for Michael J. Lindsay, Senior Trustee in the Park Avenue Realty Trust, 15 Park Avenue, Yarmouth, Massachusetts, the raise and replacement of a single-family dwelling with pervious patio and associated landscaping.
Mr. Chairman, again, Kieran Healy for the record, representing Mr. Lindsay for this property. This is adjacent to the property that you just saw. It is a single-family home that we're looking to replace with another single-family home. This foundation is a slight bit smaller than the existing foundation that's there today. We are basically looking to hold the lines of the existing foundation on the east, north, and west sides, and we're making it a little bit smaller on the south side. There is a full foundation there now. We're proposing a full foundation. On the back side right now, it's just lawn. We're proposing a pervious patio in that area. And for that pervious patio, we're proposing that area of green that you see right there of mitigation plantings. The red that's shown on this plan is the coastal bank. And other than that, I'd be glad to answer any questions that you or the board may have.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Commissioners, any questions, comments? See none. Kelly, any comment, question?
No, I have no additional comments on this one.
All right, is there anybody in the audience who has any comments, questions, concerns about this property? All right, we are also waiting for a DEP file number for this one too, Kelly, right?
That's correct.
Okay, if not, if there's no further discussion among the commission, can I have a motion to continue this to December 17th, where we are waiting only for the DEP file number? We will not be taking any further comment or testimony on this project. We're just waiting for the DEP file number.
So moved, Ellie.
Thank you, Ellie. Is there a second?
Second, Pat.
Thank you, Pat. Kelly, would you call the roll, please?
Bishop,
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Bernstein,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Oops,
Aye.
Huggins,
Aye.
Mulhern.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
If I could, Mr. Chairman, members, just to confirm, because a corner of the building is less than the 35-foot buffer, we do need a variance for that corner of the building to remove the existing foundation and put back the foundation where it was. And that would be the case on both sides tonight. Just so it's in your heads.
Yeah, but that's reflected in the plan. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that then. All right, next order of business, continued request for amended order of conditions for SE 83-2197 Shrinath and Shaila Narahari, 5 New Hampshire Avenue, Yarmouth, Massachusetts. Proposed revision to an approved plan to replace a pile foundation with a poured concrete foundation with flood compliant walls, flood vents, and enclosed storage area garage within the buffer zone to a salt marsh and within land subject to coastal storm flowage. And I believe we have correspondence, Kelly, is that right?
Yes, we've received a request from the applicant to withdraw their request for amended order of conditions. They're going to revert to the original order of conditions and approved plan.
All right, so do I have a motion to accept the withdrawal?
So moved. Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Is there a second?
Second, Ellie.
Thank you, Ellie. Kelly, would you call the roll?
Bishop,
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Bernstein,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Hoops,
Aye.
Huggins,
Aye.
Mulhern.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, thank you. All right, next order of business is a continued notice of intent for SE 83-2253, continued from November 19th, 2020 for Amy McIsaac, 24 Charles Street, Yarmouth, Massachusetts. A proposed addition, deck, and relocated septic system within the buffer zone to a coastal bank. And we've had some developments out there. Is that Matt that's going to take that, or is it?
Yeah, Matt Creighton, VSC Group. So we obviously we went out, or a few of us went out earlier this week to take a look at the salt marsh delineation area out at the site. We had discussed basically more elevation based. We all agreed that the vegetation out there was salt marsh vegetation. So from an elevation standpoint, we had looked at the LiDAR map, I believe it was, and focused on elevation 2 because the LiDAR maps are rounded either up or down. I had offered to stake out what elevation 2.5 would be to get closer, just in case, let's say we were at a 2.45 situation, it would be rounded down to 2. So we staked out the 2.5 elevation that you can see here in the photograph, and we'll I guess go from there. No changes to the plan itself for the house or anything of that nature, and Karen Healy's here as well if you have questions on the house or the septic or anything.
Okay, thanks, Matt. And I believe that it doesn't really change even if we put the line where it is now, it's not going to change anything in terms of setbacks, really. Is that right?
Correct. I mean, our closest setback, I believe, is a coastal bank that runs along the back edge of the house, really, that's the one thing that we're dealing with more than anything. This is really just to ensure the line is correct.
Okay, great. Thank you. Commissioners, any questions, comments, concerns? Kelly, questions, comments, concerns?
Nope, I have none.
All right, anybody in the audience who has any comments or questions?
Can I ask a question?
All right, so I just wanted to say again, thank you to Matt and Karen for doing that extra additional work and coming out and meeting with us. I think it went a long way to help determine exactly where we want to set this line. So I appreciate the extra effort for that.
Can I ask a question about the stakes?
Yep.
Karen, I just wanted to clarify. On this screenshot, I put red dots on the stakes because the orange ribbon blew off them and it was kind of hard to see them in the photo. So I just put these red dots on there to show everyone where they are. And I just wanted to understand where we have the stake at the tree and to the right here. Is this saying that this is the 2.5 line goes like this, or whether there's this area goes up to 2.5 and then there's a pocket back here and then this is lower or higher? It's kind of, I didn't quite understand what was happening in this area.
If you start at the one that's highlighted on the right hand side of the screen.
This one here?
Yeah, that's elevation 2.5 and that runs to the tree. Basically,
okay, so that runs through here.
Yeah, that's a straight line. And then it runs straight down to this one. Yeah.
Okay,
then
all right. And then
over
runs through here.
The Marsh.
Okay,
so everything to the left or far towards the water, and those ones that you're on right now, would be less than 2.5. Everything to the right and uphill of those would be above 2.5.
Okay, so all this area here and then up here is all greater than 2.5.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we didn't do a complete topo of every inch of it. You might find a little pocket, but where we took the shots, those were shots that were at 2.5.
Okay, yeah, because I comparing it with the LiDAR, that certainly corresponds in this area. I think there's just a lower pocket. Oh, well, I guess, yeah, that does kind of correspond. It's probably in this area here, the lower pocket. So, okay, that works.
So everything between those beam poles over there and the water is
it's less than 2.5. Okay, and so just for everyone's information, and I thank Matt for directing us to the Buzzards Bay site, because that's got some really useful information on how to interpret all of these elevations and what they mean. The data that they have for this area gives a high tide line of 2.9491, which from a regulatory standpoint is supposed to be the upper limit of the salt marsh range if salt marsh vegetation and salinity are present. So I think based on the site conditions, we kind of looked at whether the 2.5 line was going to be a better indicator of the edge of salt marsh on this property. So does everyone agree that with this line at 2.5 and the vegetation present being predominantly salt marsh vegetation, that this should be the delineated line for the salt marsh?
I'm comfortable with this, yeah.
Yeah, so am I.
No problem here.
Okay. Yep, I think it's right.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, so I guess we would just need to see that reflected on the survey plan.
Okay, Kelly, so can we go ahead and close this out then and just wait for you can wait for the revised plan before you issue the order?
Yeah, let me just take a quick look. I think that was the only, I wanted to check my notes real quick. Yeah, I think the only other thing that we had is the state had asked us to make sure we include the condition 310 CMR 10.305, which is that the structure, mind you, was this house constructed after 1978? What was the year of construction of this one?
I don't have an exact date, but I would, based on looking at the building, I would say it was there prior to 1978.
Yeah, okay. I can confirm that in the assessor's records before I do the order anyway, so whether to include that. But yes, I have no further comments. So you could vote to issue the order of conditions pending approval of the updated plan with the new resource area line on it.
Okay. Any further discussion among the board?
Mr. Chairman, I just curious, did the commission have concerns about mowing in this area? I think, again, I thank DSC for helping us with delineation, but it seems to me that there is a fairly sizable area that has been mowed that perhaps we should ask that it go back to natural condition.
Yeah, I think that's, so, I mean, we're essentially establishing this as the salt marsh line, is that right?
That's my interpretation, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously then they shouldn't be mowing inside it, right? That's my understanding then.
Can we put that in our conditions?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we need to.
That's a good point, Rick. Thank you for bringing that up.
This is Matt. I just wanted to, I'd like to have at least an access for her to access the water. She's got that path down there that we looked at. I don't know if you remember towards behind the trees there. I just want to make sure she can still get down and they can still access and get in and out of the water with some kayaks or something if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think if you
would
want to
that be-
maintain if you want to put that on the plan, Matt, just continue what is it, 3-foot path, is it there?
Mhm. Yeah, it's like a little 3-foot wide or whatever it was. I'm just thinking, bring it up around the tree there. So it's,
Yeah,
yeah, you got a little piece of salt marsh in that edge, but on the right hand side of the trees, looking at the photo, I just want to show an access. That's all. You know, that way it's
yeah,
kind of clear.
that's acceptable.
Thanks.
Yeah,
guys.
I think that's appropriate. So you'll just put that on the plan as well then, Kieran?
Yes.
Okay. Is it everybody else okay with that, to continue their access?
Yes, I'm okay with it, David.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, if there's nothing else, then could I have a motion to issue an order of conditions for this project with the other special conditions as mentioned?
So moved, Ellie.
Thank you, Ellie. Is there a second?
Second, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Kelly, would you call the roll, please?
Bishop,
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Bernstein,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Hoops,
Aye.
Huggins,
Aye.
Mulhern.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members. Thank you,
Right.
Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kieran. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
All right, next order of business is another continued notice of intent for SE 83-2254, continued from November 19th, 2020 for Douglas Ducote, 15 Shore Road, Yarmouth, Massachusetts, proposed maintenance repairs of a stone riprap revetment wall and replacement of existing handrail within a coastal bank.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. For the record, again, it's Kieran Healy. We discussed this at the last meeting, and I believe the commissioners were all good with what we had proposed. We just could not close it because there was no SE number issue. If anybody has any other further questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Okay, I think you were all set. Everybody's ready. All right, so then may I have a motion to issue the issue and order of conditions?
Sorry, so just to interrupt for a second, I think we might have heard from somebody in a butter, and I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't somebody in the audience. I think
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's okay. I mean, I know you had sort of effectively closed the hearing at the last meeting, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to just double check if somebody had heard. No, there's no one's raised their hand,
Nobody
so I
here?
think we're good.
Okay, and we still have these the other two that are still there are for something different. Is that correct? There's
Yeah,
nobody
I-
in the
I don't
public who has any
recognize.
comments on this.
Doesn't appear so.
Okay. Right, so I had a motion. I don't remember who said it though.
Sorry.
So moved, David.
Thank you, David. Is there a second?
Second, Ellie.
Thank you, Ellie. Kelly, would you call the roll?
Bishop,
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Bernstein,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Oops,
Aye.
Huggins,
Aye.
Mulhern.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members. Have a good night.
All right, thank you, Karen. We'll see you. Next order of business is another continued notice of intent, also continued from November 19th, 2020. Greg Katsoulis, 154 Wood Road, Yarmouth, Massachusetts, and after the fact filing for regrading and vegetation removal, proposed access path and deck extension within the buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetland pond. I understand we have a request for a continuance. Is that correct, Kelly?
Yes, we had a request to continue to December 17th.
Okay, are we going to go with that? Can we put that off to January 7th?
Yeah, that would be my suggestion, just
Okay.
because I'm not going to be at the next meeting, and it won't give me an opportunity to review any plans that come in before I go. So yeah, I think
Okay,
it's sufficient grounds to be able to continue it to January 7th.
all right, I agree. So do I have a motion to continue this to January 7th, 2021?
So
So
moved,
moved.
Ellie.
Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Rick, for seconding. Kelly, you want to call the roll?
Bishop,
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Bernstein,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Oops,
Aye.
Huggins,
Aye.
Mulhern.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, thank you, everybody. Next order business, another continued notice of intent for SE 83-2250, continued from October 1st, 2020, and November 5th, 2020. For Anthony Fiola, 1 Mile Road, Yarmouth, Massachusetts. Proposed construction of Coyer log erosion control on eroding bank, sand nourishment, and plantings in a coastal bank and land subject to coastal storm flow. Also, there's a request to continue this to February 4th. I got the right date, Kelly?
That's correct.
All right, do I have a motion to continue this to February 4th, 2020? Sorry, 2021. Thank you, Tom. Is there a second?
Second, David.
Thank you, David. Kelly, would you call the roll?
Bishop,
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Bernstein,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Oops,
Aye.
Huggins,
Aye.
Mulhern.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, thank you. The next order of business, another continued notice of intent for SE 83-2251, continued from November 19th, 2020 for Paul G. Mazika, 45 Crosby Street Extension and 15 Chip Shops Way, Yarmouth, Massachusetts, an extension of existing stone revetment on the coastal bank and riverfront area. We also have another continuance request for this. And I'd also like to put this one off to January 7th if possible as well.
So
Everybody
moved,
good?
Ellie.
Thank you, Ellie.
Second,
Is there a second?
David.
Thank you, David. Kelly, would you call the roll, please?
Bishop,
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Bernstein,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Oops,
Aye.
Huggins,
Aye.
Mulhern.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, everybody. Next order of business is the approval of the minutes for November 19th, 2020.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes of November 19th, 2020. As
Second.
written, thank Robert for his efforts.
Thank you, Tom. Is there a second?
Second, outstanding.
Thank you, Rick. Kelly, would you call the roll, please?
Oops.
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Mulhern,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Bishop,
Aye.
Huggins,
Aye.
Bernstein.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Is there any other business, any news or anything that you need to let us know about, Kelly?
Nope, other than the fact I'm not going to be at the next meeting. So we did get no new filings today, which is a huge relief. So, and we've managed to continue a few to January. So we should be in good shape. We just have a few certificates of compliance and those two continued notices that that you guys will be able to handle at the next meeting. And Robert will start and run the meeting as moderator with everyone's support.
That's what you say now, but when you when you see us back at the end of December, he's like, "Oh, I can't believe it was just such an easy. It was supposed to be such an easy meeting."
I do have a question. Did we jump over 356 Great Island with the snow fence?
We continued it because
Continued.
we needed natural heritage comments.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, that would be kind of bad now. Anything else, folks? Or
Kelly, what kind of coffee do you want tomorrow?
A medium latte, please.
I'll take some black with a nice crawler or something if you want to deliver it.
Yeah, no, no chance.
All right. Anything else, folks? If not, may I have a motion to adjourn at 6:20 p.m.
Isn't that a little early? Should we be talking a little longer or something?
Feels like we should.
We can. It's like we can start doing.
Push it, David.
And then we can start doing an hour of wetland regulation review.
No, I move to close the meeting.
All right, is there a second?
I second Ellie.
Thank
No,
you,
keep
Ellie.
it going.
Well, you can vote no.
No,
That's one dissenting vote. All right, Kelly, would you call the roll?
Hoops,
Aye.
Durkin,
Aye.
Mulhern,
Aye.
Lawrence,
Aye.
Bishop,
Stain.
Huggins,
Aye.
and Bernstein.
Aye.